So this is Eric McLuhan, Director of Instruction at Applecross Golf Academy, and I'm here with Bob Heinz, former tour player and teacher on our staff. And we're going to be talking about overswinging and how people can help themselves to keep that stretch on the backswing. So what we have here is a student who's a good player. He's really come a long way. His name is Josh. I'm going to let this play slowly. Josh hits a lot of good shots. It's probably about a 2 handicap. But if you take it back slowly, you can see how extended it is. So you see where the breakdown is. It's good stretch here. Good wind up. But the arms keep going. The arms kind of outrace the body a little bit. So, how many tour players take it to there, Bob, do you think?
I'd say very few, and I'd also agree with you that a lot of my students, when we watch video like this, they find that if they stop their swing several, bits shorter than they actually do, it would be a lot cleaner and easier to get back to the ball.
All right, so here's what we did. So using, let's say about, what I like to say is, once your back is to the target, you want your shoulders and your hands to stop at the same time. So I think of a full turn, but a 3/4 arm swing. Mentally, that seems to work for me. But what we did was we used 2 products on Josh. One is the stretch band. So he's standing on it with his left foot, and he's holding it in his left hand, trying to feel that stretch. Just like pulling a string on a bow. You get to that point where you have maximum power, for a big release coming through. What I find, if we go back here, knowing that the hands have to come down and forward, what tends to happen is we lose out on the forward enough. So the bottom of the arc occurs too early. It occurs either before or at the ball instead of beyond the ball. And we get a little bit of a scoop, which would tend to help us hit it to the left. So we would like the bottom of the arc to occur a little bit after the ball. Where are most of your students? All of our students tend to be.
Correct.
Tend to be too far behind the ball. Back there. So what happens when somebody bottoms out back there?
Well, you're gonna chunk it sometimes, and you're also it's almost like he has to slow down and wait for the club head because it's had to travel so far. So he's probably having to slow down at impact, whereas if he was a little cleaner at the top, he could be accelerating through and getting that crisp contact and then the divot following the ball.
All right, so here's what we did. After working on the stretch, I really love that look. It just looks so much more powerful. Then we did this. We put a brace called the right angle on his arm. And it just doesn't let his right arm bend more than 90 degrees. And I know everybody thinks about keeping the left arm straight, But the reality is, if you keep your right arm more extended, the left arm will be more straight. You'll have a wider arc and a much easier time with not only the down, but the forward. So what happens is it's easier to attack and get your hands more ahead it's in a different spot. See the difference?
Absolutely. I mean, the one on the right is clearly much more clean, more efficient.
What we're trying to get is, at the moment of contact with the golf ball, a little more of a straight line between the arm and the shaft, and maybe even the hand slightly in front. Now you can see in this one how it's already flipped past a little bit. It's way better than most people, but if we could get it a little bit better, I think the strikes would be even better. So if we put them all on the same screen, there being the original one, there being the stretch. Let's get all this out of here. So you've got one picture with the stretch band, one with the right angle on that arm. Both of them, I think, would be really helpful in creating a firm backswing. So what I like to look at is about, let's say, if I'm putting a clock up there, you want your hands and arms to go to about 10:30, 11 o'clock rather than 12 o'clock, if that makes sense.
Sure, absolutely. It's a very good, a lot of people respond well to the clock analogy.
Older people. The younger people's clocks are all digital. So.
Good point. Good point.
All right, everybody. This is Bob Heinz and Eric McLuhan. Hoping that you're having a good season. And if you have any questions about arm extension going back or any other part of the game, give us a ring.
Absolutely. It's been fun being here with you for the first time.